May I now invite Mr. Ashok Pandit, Mr. Apurva Asrani, and Miss Nikita Thakur on stage, please.
Last session is always the victim of time, but I think we still have got 30 minutes, 30 minutes I think we will do. We have the last Bahar's speech, and I am very excited to listen to that. My personal belief and the reason that I have this session in Ekam Nyay Dialogues today is that although we have always had cinema as something that has shaped public perceptions, we now also have social media. And there seems to be quite a gender war going on out there. Like I said earlier, it is not, and like Amit also said, it's not a competition between men and women, it's about justice. So what we are going to be talking about in this session is how media, how cinema has shaped narratives, and how probably there is some hesitation still for people to talk about possibly the other side, and we'll discuss a lot of other issues as well. I think, Ashok sir, I'll start with you. Okay, I'll start with Apurva. Apurva has written fantastic shows, and something that attracts my attention to Apurva's work is a lot of his work is centered around courts, justice system, and he has looked at these things very closely. Criminal Justice is one of his best works. Can we please put a big round of applause? I just love that series and the nuance for it. Apurva, how has your journey of writing around justice, courtrooms, guilt, and innocence shaped your perspective? And what do you think gender justice means to you in today's times?
Thanks for having me here, Deepika. I've been a big fan of your work. You know, we connected on social media. And I remember when I wrote Criminal Justice Behind Closed Doors, which was a world of women. And it dealt with domestic abuse. It dealt with domestic abuse also in the lives of lawyers and in the lives of police officers who were women. And you wrote to me and you said, Apurva, what about the men? And it was a very pertinent question because at that point in time, there was a big wave internationally, which was the Believe the Woman line that had come from America.
Believe all women.
Believe all women. And there was also Me Too and all that had really peaked at that point in time. And there was absolutely no discourse or discussion about what was happening to men. And you were asking that question, and I have to put something out here. I'm a gay man. I've grown up gay, and I've grown up in a society that has not really held space for someone like me. I've grown up in a society that has kicked me about, that have police that have actually worked as my enemies for just existing. I've been slapped, detained in police stations just for being with another man. I've been thrown out of housing societies because I was living with another man. And there's absolutely no discussion about it at all, So I've always been attracted to stories about people who are not being spoken for, haven't been spoken for. And there's very selective outrage out there. We've decided there are almost trending hashtags that tell you, these are the people we should fight for. Yeah. And let's all rally around it. And no, these we don't really care about. Yeah. And the kind of stories that I've tried to choose, and I've been very fortunate to get projects like that. So it's a film I wrote called Aligarh, which starred Manoj Bajpayee in a lifetime performance, but it was based on a true story of a professor from Aligarh Muslim University who was harangued by his university. They did a sting operation on him. Why? Because he had a man in his bedroom. And he was a poet, and he was a wonderful writer. He won a Sahitya Academy Award and all of that. But all of that was rubbish to the ground. He was thrown, out of his every house. And he was a senior citizen. So what happened to him? What happened to his mental health? Nobody cared. So we delved into that. So why courtrooms is because when society is not giving us justice, our last recourse, our only recourse is the courtroom. But I'm interested in the journey that has forced you to go there. Shahid also, another film about Shahid Azmi's, I worked as a co-writer on that. So I'm interested in these stories, people who've not been given a voice, people you're not interested in listening to, and they may be men, they may be women. And those are the kind of projects that I've tried to choose.
Ashok sir, now I can come to you. So many films, and I think that the list is endless, kind of tend to show that men are by default the perpetrators. I am not really sure if there have been films that have shown men to be on the receiving end of either abuse or domestic violence. Do you think that the cinema has chosen, for whatever reason possible, to actually portray only one side of narrative on the gender issues?
ऐसा दीपिका कि पहले तो I would like to congratulate you, as Apurva also said, for being leading the entire movement. And I am a big fan of yours because I know from the day one, when you started and you thought about working on this thought and how you have reached to this level now. So the entire journey itself is a subject to be made as a film. And I promise you I'll make that series.
Can I just share something, Ashok sir? In 2014, when I started making Martyrs of Marriage, मेरे पास पैसे नहीं थे वो movie बनाने के. I came to Mumbai, and Ashok sir and Madhur Bhandarkar helped me a lot. And I must say thanks to you, Ashok sir. So he has been seeing my journey since 2014. It's been 12 years. And he has been very, very supportive. And he has been very, very encouraging. Thank you, Ashok sir. Please continue, sir.
You see, cinema is basically an industry which is an entertainment industry. Let's be very clear on that. हम लोग यहाँ पर समाज को बदलने के लिए नहीं आए हुए हैं, ना इंटरेस्टेड है. समाज अपने आप बदलता है, अपने आप इंसिडेंट्स होते हैं, चीज़ें बदलती हैं और हम उसको रेप्लिका सामने पर्दे पे लेके आने की कोशिश करते हैं. We are not gods. We are makers. We get inspired from things. जैसा अपूर्वा बोल रहा था, inspired the things which go around us. The point is that हर चीज़ में ग्रोथ होती है. अब चक्कर ये है कि अगर पहले दीपिका होती, पैदा हुई होती, समाज में होती, तो फिल्मों का रुख जो अलग होता. लोग आपके बारे में सोचते, लोग आपके सब्जेक्ट के बारे में सोचते. इस थॉट प्रोसेस को लाने वाले लोग चाहिए थे. द पॉइंट इज इफ टुडे इफ आई वाज सिटिंग एंड लिसनिंग टू द लॉयर्स आल्सो, ऐसी सोच और ऐसी डिस्कशन और डिबेट तो कभी सुनने को नहीं मिले. आप टेलीविजन पे देख लो, आप सोशल मीडिया पे देख लो, आप किताबों में देख लो, एक रुख चलता रहा, एक सवाल चलता रहा कि यार ये औरत ही सती सावित्री हो सकती है, यही विक्टिम हो सकती है, यही बिचारी है, यही दरिद्रता है, ये सब कुछ है, आदमी साला रावण है. ये थॉट प्रोसेस तो समाज ने ही बनाया ना, हमने तो नहीं बनाया. दिस इज द काइंड ऑफ थॉट प्रोसेस विच वॉज पेप्ड इन आवर माइंड्स राइट फ्रॉम द चाइल्डहुड. औरत तो गलती कर ही नहीं सकती. बट धीरे धीरे जैसे ही समय बदलता गया, टाइम बदलता गया, ऐसे इंसिडेंट्स हमारे सामने हुए. फिर आर्टिकल 375 बनी, ऐतराज़ बनी. I made a web series called Chartsheet. My writer is sitting here, Priyanka. So the makers started thinking on it. Madhur made women-oriented films. उसके बाद कैसे मतलब in the sense how things happen and all that. So thought process have to keep on changing. तो हम तो as makers we get inspired from incidences around us. And believe me, I'm not exaggerating. I'm not joking. Deepika, right from day one when I met her, this thought of, when I saw his Martyrs of Marriage in editing also, this thought has been, troubling us. Why are we not talking about it? And why are we not making, and on cinema or on web series or on media, these things is not propagated. Social media पे, अब तब तो social media भी नहीं था जब इसे शुरू किया. या ऐसे इंसिडेंट. Now it is more easy because everything is multiplied and everything is reached on your phone, on your hand. We don't have to go theaters, we don't have to. मीडिया का भी अपनी एक सोच और अपनी एक पकड़ है, अपना एक करप्शन है. वो वही छापता था, अखबार वही छापता था जो उनको चाहिए, जो उनको पैसे देते हैं. मीडिया नेट, you have to spend money and all that. Now the best thing what has happened is that everything is available on your phone. You can change the mindset of the people. You can bring in change. It's become easier. So I'm quite sure, Deepika, I'm quite sure now things हम लोग भी सोच रहे हैं. In fact, when your last session was going on, मैं और प्रियंका बैठे हुए थे, हमने बोला यार क्या सब्जेक्ट है यार, Apurva. When the lawyers were discussing about the incident and all that, there has to be, and now we don't need financiers, we don't need platforms, we have this phone. Micro series का ज़माना आ गया है अभी, 2-2 मिनट के episodes बना रहे हैं हम लोग. We are doing so good in micro series. So because of so many platforms available to us now, so many digitally oriented things are available to us now, things are going to move now. Things are going to be better, for sure. That's what
Thank you.
I'm very sure.
Thank you so much, Ashok sir. I really hope things change for the better and for everyone in the society.
Deepika, see, I'll give you an example. I made a series called Charge Sheet. Now, Charge Sheet was based on a murder mystery of a badminton player called Syed Modi. He was a badminton player who used to represent India before Prakash Putkare. Now, he married a badminton player called Amita Modi. It's a real story. Amita Modi was convinced by her mother to fall in love with a politician because Syed Modi का career कुछ बनता नहीं है, तुम्हारी लाइफ को बनेगी नहीं. वो अपनी बेटी को क्राइम करके उसको बोलती है कि तुम ये जो पॉलिटिशियन है, दैट्स संजय सिंह, हु इज अ पार्ट ऑफ बीजेपी नाउ, और उसको कन्विंस करके उसके साथ वो अफेयर करके she gets married to him, and that politician gets this Syed Modi killed. It's a story.
It's a real life.
It's a real life story. It's a real life story.
He was a rising star.
Yeah, he's a rising star.
He never got justice.
Yeah. So he never got justice. So the point is that the show was so well received. It went on for 1.5 years and all that. So the point, what I'm trying to say is ki see, we have very interesting people in the industry who are intelligent, who want to do such kind of work. So let's identify with those people in the industry, Apurva, a lot of people, and sit together and concentrate on how do we get these stories live on screen, whether it's a phone, whether it's a big screen or it's a small screen, whatever it is. I'm sure things are going to change. Even it will change the mindset of the justice also. You have done that. हम तो कभी सुनते नहीं थे कि जज जो है वो मर्द के बारे में दया भावना से देखता है. अभी अब लाइव स्क्रीनिंग होती है जज में कोर्ट्स की, तो इट्स अ चेंज फॉर अस. इट इज सो एनकरेजिंग. जज बोलता है कितना एलिमिनी चाहिए तुमको, क्या करना है तुमको इतने एलिमिनी को, तुम्हारा क्या है. जजेस आस्किंग दिस क्वेश्चन द लॉयर ऑफ द लेडी is so encouraging. We have never seen that. So things are changing, and I think people like you are doing a even job for that. Yeah.
I would take a lot of humility to say this, although I will not identify these individuals because that is not appropriate. But there is a judge who sends us judgments where he has started punishing people who file false rape cases, false SC/ST cases. We have published some of those judgments as well, and that we have come to know that a lot of judges follow our work. We have come to know through their readers. There was a beautiful judgment that came out in Delhi, and the reader of the judge actually DM'd me on Twitter that, ma'am, sir follows your work and sir really respects the balance that you're trying to bring, and I just wanted to convey that. And very, very humbly, I would also share that there was a case in Karnataka, Roshan ma'am, another case where the woman had filed 10 rape cases in a span of 8 years. We wrote an open letter to the judge who was hearing the case, and we gave the precedent of Punjab and Haryana High Court, where there was the name of the woman was listed now in the crime records, that any time she goes again to lodge an FIR, there will be first an inquiry and only then an FIR would be registered. And we are very happy to share that the judge actually included that part in the judgment. And this woman's name was sent to the DGP office, and the DGP was required to send the name to across the state so that whenever she files an FIR again, there is an inquiry first. But now I will come to the point, and I think Nikita will elaborate on why people are still very hesitant to speak about these things. हम तो सर पे कफन लेकर बहुत सालों से चले हुए हैं, but बड़ा मुश्किल होता है. Nikita, I've seen the comments on some of your videos. Nikita is a YouTuber. She has massive following on YouTube, and she's probably some of very few voices in the YouTube community who has spoken about men's issues, who has spoken about radical feminism and toxic feminism. And her content is very balanced on these issues, and I see it day in, day out. Recently, there was a video that she made on how vulgarity is being commercialized, and how young girls are for money, you know, there's just no bars. Do you face criticism, Nikita, by women per se or feminists? Do they condemn you? Is there a cost in terms of whether revenue or reach or whatever when you talk on these subjects, or probably the other side of gender justice? What's your experience been, Nikita?
So mostly these subjects come under identity conflict, because if you talk about a certain segment, the other segment would be like, the identity would get threatened, and they would naturally feel like this person is talking about males or females, then I'm naturally going to be anti this person, right? You know, there's just generalization happening, and not thinking in perspectives of from both the parties. So it happens, but I don't know, maybe I'm just fortunate enough because of my subscriber base. I really haven't, because I was just thinking about this question, because I knew that something like this would come up. You would definitely ask something like this. And I was just thinking if I have faced any criticism in that regard, maybe in the terms of followers and subscriber base and the impressions that YouTube gives to such videos, it's not much. So for example, I made a video on the anti-men laws, or laws which are a little biased, or maybe a little pro towards a gender. And that video didn't get a lot of impressions from YouTube, and also didn't get a lot of clicks from people. So that could also be because half of the people are naturally not watching it. So maybe because 50% of the population is female, right? Or maybe around that. So it is a little not very motivating for us to make content on that, because ultimately we have to feed an algorithm, which is YouTube. But I do believe that if we keep posting, maybe then we create an awareness around that, like you are doing. Because I don't know, maybe 2 years before this, 2 years before the current times, I have never heard of people talking about men rights, or the problems that men face, the alimony issues, all of these. It was not discussed as much as it is now. Yeah. So even now the views are picking up. Maybe. So that is like a loop. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a loop.
I think I'll go back to Apoorva again. Apoorva, you made a beautiful film, Pact. It's a short film. I will encourage everyone to go and please watch this film. It's about how unexpressed a father's emotions are, and how most of the times we see our fathers as these very strict and rigid and all those beings, and sometimes as a kid, actually hate them for being so strict and misunderstand them. Pact is a beautiful film. I'll not speak much, but then congratulations to you for making it, Apoorva. We have had discussed child custody and these issues any which ways. Why did you make this film, and what was going on in your mind to bring out something like Pact? And in fact, if I could add to that, there's a very sensitive and emotional side of men that you show in this film. So how can filmmakers show emotional vulnerability of men without reducing women's struggles? Is there certain formula, balance, or whatever, if you would share?
Thank you for saying such wonderful things about the Pact. I want to just add a little bit, or actually endorse what she was saying. When you create content like this, which is not necessarily algorithm friendly. Uh, it doesn't look like a risk, but it's actually a huge risk. The moment, let's say, a criminal justice behind closed doors, which was about domestic abuse and marital rape, a very pertinent subject, got a lot of traction. The Pact, which had a wonderful actor, Parambrata Chatterjee, who was in Kahani as well, and very well made, I would say, a good story. It was not algorithm friendly. People are not really interested in sharing about what a man goes through. Men are also very embarrassed. We face that with Aligarh as well. Men are very embarrassed to be sitting in a cinema hall watching a film about sensitivity and vulnerability of a man. They watched the film, but they watched the film at home on their computer screens alone. Somehow men are still grappling with that, and I think the whole machinery is also catered towards, like I said even earlier, and then Nikita also said, towards a certain kind of a narrative. But there is so much conflict in the world. There is war. There is constantly, like with what we call patriarchy, toxic masculinity. Where does it begin? It begins in the house. It begins at home. It begins in the childhood. That previous discussion, I came early to listen to that. Talking about what children go through, and it's not just POSCO. It's not just divorce cases. Sometimes worse than that are a married family where a child has to see domestic abuse every day.
Absolutely.
Sometimes I think it's better that, you separate and, So how does that contribute to this man who will tomorrow go out into the world and make decisions politically, in terms of industry, in terms of, So somewhere I think it comes down to this. It comes down to, my film is about a boy and his father. And him coming to terms with his father after his father has passed away, when you go to clear empty out the apartment, and you are forced to deal with your entire life and childhood, where till now he had the privilege of seeing his father as this strict man who was just unnecessarily creating a distance and probably had an affair and all of those things. So there was certain kind of hatred. But as he got to see the belongings of his father and found things, he realized that what does a man go through to keep his family, to protect his family?
Yep.
Where is the money coming from to educate you? What are you dealing with at work which you will never come and tell them, because like they discussed earlier also, mard ko dard nahi hota. The man goes through all of that, and we as kids take it for granted. Well, I hold you responsible for slapping me that one time. I hold you responsible for not treating my mother particularly. Of course, these are all wrong things, but what is he going through? Have you even bothered to understand what was at stake for him? Like, what did he have to fight in order to put food on your table and send you to school? So that's the reason why, I wanted to make Pact. Yeah.
I really hope someday we have a beautiful film which, brings out the conflict for kids in custody disputes and the pain that the kids go through. I really hope that there's a beautiful film made on that. Nikita, very quickly, we are terribly out of time. Do you think there is extreme polarization now on social media on gender? Do you think one segment has gone completely like, believe all men and, all men, and if anybody says not all men, then mock and things like that? Where on the other side, there is like, all the women are evil, there should be no alimony, no maintenance, going to this extreme, And what is this kind of conversation or extremism in your perspective is having an impact on these very young college-going kids? Do you think we are fueling a war rather than coming to the solutions?
Yes, very much actually, because I see a lot of comments on my video videos about even that you mentioned, like toxic feminism, or if I talk about how vulgarity has been is being commercialized right now. So even if I put up a videos about this, with backing it with proper science, data, analytics, social experiments that have been done of how these videos affect the minds of people, you see comments from girls that, oh, it's her choice. But there has to be, we don't understand that it's not yes or no, it's not black or white. Reality has nuances, it has grays, right? So that perception is not developed from the audience as of now, and many people who watch YouTube, they like YouTube asks you if you're 18 plus, but you can easily say that yes, I'm 18 plus, and you get all sorts of content on YouTube. So one video of ours which has maybe even one slight like a cleavage showing will get age restricted, but you see with so many vulgar videos on YouTube and there is no age restriction on that. And also to come to your first point that you made about no movie which is made showing men as a victim, I would like to differ on that. So there is a movie called Dear Zindagi, wherein Dear Zindagi, Alia Bhatt.
Dear Zindagi.
Dear Zindagi.
Okay.
So there is this instance when a person cheats on Alia Bhatt, right? And then she goes into the entire trauma, the entire thing is explained. But if you look at the past of Alia Bhatt, she also cheated on her boyfriend, and that person is not even shown as a victim. Yeah. In fact, that person is shown like Alia Bhatt is shown as like heroic in that scene. So there are many movies like this where men are actually shown victims, but they are not shown victims. So the entire narrative is sort of like tilted towards the woman.
You haven't been called like the pick me woman on these videos?
No, because I've made a lot of videos on women also. In fact, I've written a book on women, her story. So it's about the entire history of how women helped to shape the Indian civilization, Indian society. So it's not like I'm taking any one side, as all of our judges have mentioned that it has to be from both the end. Ultimately, we are just supporting justice, not any gender.
That's true. Yeah.
May I just add something else?
Yeah.
So I want to add, we've been so used to seeing on our marquee in the cinema, on a big screen, women projected as martyrs, goddesses, pedestalized. That's not necessarily how they're even treated at home, but somehow the perception is that, you have to be so pure, right? So in order to defy that, Hansal Mehta and myself, we made a film which I wrote for him called Simran, which starred Kangana Ranaut, right? And Simran was about a woman who was a criminal, a gambler, first of all. She gambled in Vegas, lost money, then borrowed money, then got into trouble with the mob, then robbed banks across the West Coast in the US, and then finally went to jail. And there was a man who was in love with her, who was completely just like heartbroken because he didn't see her true identity. And nowhere did we try and justify or give her that, it's because she went through this abuse, that is why she became like that. And I think these things are also very important for us to tell these stories as well. Women can be good and bad. Yep. They can make mistakes and do good things. So yeah.
Absolutely. With that Nikita's thing, मुझे याद आया, Dear Zindagi का example दिया. I remember I got into a Twitter fight with Tapsi Pannu. So I was like, थप्पड़ में तो बोला कि एक थप्पड़ is enough for divorce, but in another movie where she was with Vicky Kaushal, उसने कुछ करा होता है तो वो चाटे मारती है उसको धड़ा 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 धड़ा. It's like, how is that okay and this is not okay? And it's just, you just missed the plot. Of course, I mean, then a lot of people said, no, I think you missed the plot, but nonetheless. Ashok sir, last question to you. You are working on a project where you're showing false rape accusations, although the victim in this case is a woman, Pinky Pramanik. we must check out that story as well. Very, very sad story. And you shared with me in a personal conversation that there are challenges around. Do you think these projects face challenges from not just society, but financially also, perceptionally also, business-wise also, and then the person is like, you know, कि कोई और कर ले social activism, हम लोग cinema entertainment में तो नहीं कर सकते.
नहीं, अभी बदलाव आया हुआ है काफ़ी, whereas producers are concerned, the platforms are concerned. थोड़ा difficult होता है, जैसा पहले difficult होता था उतना difficult अभी नहीं है, because there are so many platforms, there are so many outlets. So this subject is very interesting in the sense that she is a sports Olympic runner who had won gold in the year 2002 in Olympics. So but the next time she goes there, in fact, the writer of the show is also here. She goes the next time, when she goes to next Olympics, she is deported from there, and she says that she's told that you'll not be able to take participation in the Olympics, you have to go back. And when she comes back to India, she's arrested and put behind in the men's jail. The accusations which were put on her was that she is a man and she is raped. And that's why she's been put in men's jail. So because she was put in men's jail, she undergoes the entire trauma and torture and everything, whatever is it. But the unique thing is that when she comes out of the jail, she gives a statement. When we sat with her and we discussed with her and all that, Pinky, she said, I felt that I was most safest in the men's jail, because the way I was taken care, the way I was looked after, the way I was treated by those more than 500 men in the jail, I could have not found myself so safe in the women's jail. And when I was released, I asked for a week extra to be in the jail, because I wanted to thank each and every jail inmate for taking care of me. So it's a very interesting story which we are working on, both of us, and I hope somebody will come out with. अब ऐसे subjects में एक बहुत बड़ी problem है. Problem है कि you don't get actors to play such roles. It's a very catch-22 situation. एक तो बहुत difficult role है. एक्टर को लगता है कि मेरा करियर जो है वो दांव पे लग जाएगा, मैं अगर मेरी ऐसा, and I'm not talking about the established actors, I'm talking about new actors who have not done anything till now. कि how can I play this role, मेरी जिंदगी, मतलब पहला रोल मैं ऐसा कैसे करूँ, ये तो बहुत डिफिकल्ट रोल है. पूरी जिंदगी जो जनरेशन, हमारी बात की जनरेशन भी और हमारी साथ की जनरेशन जो है ना, इतना मटेरियल आपको देखने को मिलता है, इतना नॉलेज है, इतना स्कोप है आपको, कि you are now, you know everything, what is happening around you. So you have to make a choice now that मैं ये करूँ कि ये करूँ, मैं ये करूँ कि ये नहीं करूँ. पूरा का पूरा सोसाइटी बदल चुकी है. आप मतलब the kind of talent we are getting in small towns, everybody, Nikita can vouch for that. कितना talent हम देखने को मिलता है. हम लोग पागल हो जाते हैं, 3-3, 4-4 घंटे निकल जाते हैं, and brilliant performance in small towns. Yeah. So the way they have changed the narration of the entire country, entire society, is what is going to work basically for you also, for all of us, that matter.
Thank you so much, Ashok sir. We really, really hope that we have some really, really good stories coming out. And I would encourage actually both of you, Apurva and Ashok sir also, please stay back during the high tea and meet a lot of people. Every individual over here probably has a very, very sad story of injustice done by the system. Please do speak to them. Thank you so much to all of you for coming. And
I request our panelists to kindly remain on stage, and I request Mr. S.N. Bhardwaj to please present them with
Amit, you also come.
Ekam Nai souvenirs.
Padna, you also want to come on the stage to give token of appreciation? Come in.